Okay, welcome everybody. So today is the February 9th Ortelius General Working Group meeting. I put the link to the doc in the chat, so go ahead and grab it and please sign in. Just going to go through some of this stuff relatively quick, and then we'll get into some of the details on some of the topics. Yep.
Could you put the link in the chat again, because I logged in a little late and
Okay.
And all those beeps aren't going to see it either.
Got it. I did not realize it did not.
I know, that's something I've learned recently too.
All right, reposting it.
Thank you.
So just overall, some of the goals, just to refresh everybody's memory. Our main goal that we're looking at that we've set up for this first quarter is around adoption. And the adoption will be from the end user side, and also adoption in the idea of getting more contributors as well. And to do that, we're going to have some measurable goals like the blogathon, where we can look at the number of reads and stuff on a particular topic. So that's what's happening on that front, some of the high level goals. On the technical side, we are looking at component sets and some service catalog features, as well as GitOps. I'll get into that when we get down into the technical architecture group meeting. So some of the working groups that we have going on are the outreach and marketing. We have the blogathon going on, and I'm going to have either Tracy or Siddharth talk about the blogathon, give us an idea of where we're at and what we need to do.
Yep, so the blogathon has kicked off. I have submitted a blog to be the fearless leader to start this process. So now we got to figure out how we edit it. We're just kind of putting this together as we go. I think most of you have the Trello board, and I think most of you I have invited to edit my document. So I'm not sure what the best way is to manage the editing of the documents, or somebody, at least one other person needs to look through them. Siddharth, you want to show the Trello board and kind of walk through what we were thinking?
Let me share the screen.
Oh, let me stop sharing. Sorry.
Okay. This is how our Trello board looks like. First and foremost, I hope everyone has the link, or you would have joined this one. Hanging right now. Checking. Cool. So, anyone who has not yet enrolled for this, there is a link. Let me share that to you. That was fine. Give me a second. Okay, there is a link. If anyone has not joined it, please join the Trello board. What you've started doing is any of your blogs which you want it to be get reviewed from the people out here. For example, as an example, uh, Tracy created this editing needed, pros and cons of GitOps. She mentioned the link. Parijat refined it, and then I edited that. And once this editing is done, people are happy that okay, it is taking place. What we'll do is ideally this should be over here. This is work in progress. So once it is done, we'll move it to the done stage. We're not moving it to the done stage. So, and it is quite simple to create a card itself. For example, if you scroll down onto the to-do list, there is something called as add another card. Click on this, uh, add any content. and then you can say click on add card and you're done with it. However, if you want to, just reiterating, if you want any in fact what Tracy has done, Tracy has added all of the members, but you think you want to add any few of them, not all of them, just click on this plus button, search whoever are the members out here, click on them, and they will be added to this card, and they can start working on this. If you think you know the whom the people you want to reach out to, so it's as simple as that.
So what we'll do is, I think it worked the way we had intended. We got a few people to go ahead and edit it. I'm going to go ahead then after it gets edited and it gets put into the next state. I'll go ahead and create the blog on our website and get it posted, so that we can start doing social networking and showing off the blogs that we have. So Siddharth, I'm going to leave it to you to watch for those coming through for editing and making sure that everybody knows that there's a document that needs to be edited. I think it's a good way everybody gets a chance to put comments in there. Um, and so it's kind of almost like a blog that has community eyes on it. Now, this one in particular, I sweated over. I've been writing it for 4 days because, I tried to be technical and show some of the challenges with GitOps, which is a scary thing to do because there's so many crazy people about GitOps right now. Um, so if you haven't read it and you want to give me an idea if I've got it right, like Sergio, I know you've done work with Argo CD. So if you could take a look at it just from your perspective and tell me if it makes you feel angry or not.
I try not
Yes.
to be angry. I need to look at it.
Sometimes that's how you get attention.
Yeah, but I don't want to make people angry. I want to make people think. I really do. I want make people think about what we're doing in this area and what we need to do to evolve this solution so it will work really well for everyone. Um, So yeah, that is the blogathon. So we are into it, and my blog is the first one to go through the process. I think that the editing works, and Siddharth, if you track that, I'll track the board to see when things get into that third state. I can't remember what it was, and I will post it at that point and make it done.
And also, yes, thankful to all the community members who have dropped in on Twitter and LinkedIn about the blogathons.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, so if you're doing social networking, if you can push it out to your community, that those suggested social posts are on that the blogathon page at the bottom.
the one thing I don't know if you saw, Tracy and Sergio put together a couple sketches of the badges.
Yes, I was going to have him. I was going to go over that next.
Sergio, it's all yours. Let me stop sharing. I don't know if you have those pictures still handy or if you want me to bring them up.
Well, I don't have here, but it's in
I can grab them.
Yeah, please. So I just pick a lot of examples. Like usually I see at batches. Some batches are examples for games, of course. There is a lot of lettering and games. So I put ideas about my things I think looks, I don't know, a little more, I just want to be fun. So the logo, the good thing, the logo is simple. So usually you just like add, bring up like more details that shows that is like more, I don't want to say important, but I don't know, it shows, it looks great. So, but these are example. If someone want to change this, I can do it. But I just want to get the attention about, we need like a context, like a related idea, how this patch is going to to grow up, right? So that's the idea. I just, you let me know what is like the most accepted idea, and then I'm going to just put it in digital and throw another draft in digital just to be sure that we are in the right way. That's all. We just need a little feedback.
So I think we need to get them bigger so we can see them better.
Okay, I can, yeah, I have the draw, so I can put in different, because I just put a little number,
Okay.
so I'm going to put in individual ones, more close, right?
Well, if we could,
So,
if we could see your sketches, we could tell
Can
you
you?
which ones
Are you
they're
not
just so
able to?
small.
What are you looking at, Tracy?
I'm looking at your Discord page, and I'm
I
looking
know.
at.
Look at the screen sharing.
Oh, okay.
yeah, but it's the image is in good quality. It's just is all together, so I can just separate everyone, put it in the right angle, and to be more easy to watch. I'm going to do that. Okay, maybe a
So,
little gallery, or maybe a link with the gallery with all the options to
but
see.
Steve, I don't see anything. I just see it says Steve Taylor started sharing screen.
Yeah, I see the Discord, but it's in small. I don't know if when you click on that goes to another window and we cannot see it.
So did that help?
Now nothing's being. You can't see it at all. That's
Yeah,
why I went. Let me see.
That's weird. Why all of a sudden my screen sharing's so messed up with Zoom? Because I'm trying to share my browser. Let me try that. Just the browser. Okay. That working?
No,
Okay.
I think you have to share your entire screen.
yeah, but it's just like I'm going to change the the images, but if you can go to Discord, there is in good quality. The image are in good quality, so you can zoom out. Is they are big, but I'm going to change the presentation to be easy to catch
Okay.
the individual ideas, and hopefully, I don't know, all your help to do, I don't know, a little rotation, something like that. But I need to pick at least one or two ideas to.
Yeah. So just the ones that we have. There's an armor, an archangel, the evil lord, a shield.
Evil Lord is fun.
I like a military, the
Yeah,
Olympic, stars, and ninjas. I
ninjas
think
are
the evil lord one's kind of fun.
yeah, maybe for some, I don't know, Halloween event or something like that. But yeah, I want
Oh,
to put fun ideas over there. So I'm going to put individual one to have like a clear idea of the options, and hopefully we catch a voting about this. I'm going to create just a poll on the image and help me out with just voting, and I think is going to be good enough for moving on.
yeah. I think what we could do is pretty simple. Like you said, if you can split them up into separate images, and then we can just based on the numbers, do a quick little vote on them.
Okay, I will do that.
I went over to see machine where it's bigger. So I kind of like the armor, and keep in mind that oh, there you go, Steve. The armor works because we're going to have to put like the level of badge. So we'll have to have a place to put some wording. And I think that the way you have that laid out underneath there would be perfect for that.
It's more easy to draw that particular, yeah. Some is more easy to draw, like I don't know, the shield is more details and
Right.
transparent
So is the
background, stuff
archangel.
like that.
And then on the other page,
Yeah, military usually is easy to understand. That's like,
right, with the number of stripes, that would be your kind of your level.
yeah, it's easy to understand.
Oh, that is go back up, Steve. Yeah, the shield is the military one is kind of cool actually, especially if it's the number of stripes that you're gaining on there. That's kind of a fun way to grow your badge.
Yeah.
And then we could put over somewhere
And-
on the top could be the level that you've achieved.
Yeah, it's
So
just going to the base. We can add a lot of stuff over there.
So I like the military and I like the armor. Anybody else has favorites that you want to see bigger?
I'll take a couple of t-shirts.
Exactly, I know. Pretty fun, right?
You and your t-shirts.
You know
Well-
what, Sasha? I'm right there with you. I wear t-shirts all the time. I just bought
That's
one.
the new dress, new work apparel.
This is going to sound weird, but I have a t-shirt printer.
You do?
I do.
That's so awesome.
Well, that's it's going to the backlog. Okay, we're going to
That's
do that.
awesome. I want to be able to say I have a t-shirt printing press.
So,
exactly.
which, let's pick 3 for Sergio to focus on,
Okay, so armor, military, and one more.
and maybe Evil Lord.
Me as well. I like
I
the
know
shield though. I really like the shield too. Maybe because I've been watching so much Viking lately.
That was just too complicated.
It is complicated, but it's a cool one. Okay, I think that works. The armor, the evil lord, and the shield. Anybody
Okay,
else
thank
has
you.
something that they really like that we should have bigger? Oh, military.
Oh, that's why I'm sorry. Military.
Military. Yeah.
Instead of the Evil Lord, it will be military, armor.
And then the evil lord.
Okay.
Okay,
we could have
I will
Evil
do
Lord.
the devil. Okay, I will move to
All your
digital.
containers belong to us.
There you go.
You have a good
Managing the
speech
Death
over
Star.
Yeah. All your containers all belong to us. There we go.
Sasha made his background drop that.
Yeah.
I was like, how did you do that so fast?
All right.
I'm
So
supporting
we'll
this
do
school.
Military and evil lord.
Thank you, Sergio, for working on those.
Yeah, sure. You're welcome.
Tracy, any update on the reward tiers? I know Garima and you.
Yes, she
have
wanted.
accomplished
She has worked on a document. I actually met with her for a while on Friday afternoon, and she was going to update that based on a conversation that Siddharth and I had. So she was hoping that she could be at this call, but she has a meeting and she's not done with that meeting for another 10 minutes. So if we can go back to that, that would be good because she would like to present what she'd like to get feedback from the community.
Okay.
And I told her we generally stop at a half an hour, but that was what she could do. And I said, I'd let everybody know that if they wanted to hear what she had to say, just to hang out for another 15 minutes.
Okay. The blogathon is started. Like we said, there are some submissions coming in. Here's the link of how to submit. It takes you over to the Ortelius blogathon page with all the instructions.
And at the bottom, those tweets that you can do. Those are all the tweets, suggested tweets. You can write anything you want, but if you don't want to think about it, that will work.
Okay, perfect. There's the link for the social media handles, Google spreadsheet. And again, thanks for those that have tweeted out.
Yeah, let's go over that again. Everybody on, if you make sure could you just show what that is?
Yeah.
Because I am starting to use those. I literally have that tab up often when I'm doing, I'm trying to do some social networking. So please, if if you're writing anything and you have a Twitter account or a LinkedIn account you want to share, that would be super helpful. So put that link in the chat too, Steve. So if you haven't already done it, please do, because it's fun to cross-reference you. And we haven't heard from Christopher in a while. I'll reach out to him and see if everything's okay.
Yeah,
I was just about to ask.
We are still working to try to get the CDF to get some swag out. Once we get things settled in, like on the badges, things firmed up on those sides, more images, we'll be able to get things. We'll hire Sergio to start printing out T-shirts.
Yes, Sergio.
And then we do have now a LinkedIn page. I got that done, a proper company LinkedIn page.
Okay, I will.
It's kind of my primary honeydew. I kept pushing off.
And what did it end up being?
Ortelius open source.
So we have do we still have the group as well?
The group is called Configuration Management. Ortelius Configuration Management.
So Natch has posted this out there. Thank you, Natch.
And I had to create a person, and there should be a company.
I bet you I can get to it through you.
No, it should be out there. I was just working on it. I see the.
I thought I would
So
list
Tracy,
you.
there's another one, right? Ortelius open source, which is the correct one?
Yeah, that's so there. That's what I was asking. I think there's a group and a page now.
There's three things.
How
There
confusing.
is a group. Okay, I'm going to share my screen.
All
I
right, let
can't.
me stop.
So what I was trying. What happened? Share screen. What I was trying to do was I was trying to create something separate from me. So I ended up if you do a search on Ortelius open source, you're going to see. You should see three things. I don't know why we don't. Okay, so we have this, which is a person. I probably should try to get it deleted. And then we have the microservice configuration management group, which has got 400 people in it. And then I also created a company page. So I think if I go to me and I go to work, where the heck would it be? I've got posts to it. I know that.
You can go to your profile, profile view, and
Company. There it is.
So there's our company page, and I'm starting to post on it, and I've got all the posts set up automatically from Hootsuite.
Can you put that link in the chat? I'm going to grab it and put it in the doc.
Where's the freaking chat? I gotta stop sharing to chat. Okay, so let me go back to it.
Oh, I just took over sharing. So I'll get that link added in.
Okay, could you go back or stop sharing?
Okay, back to you.
Okay, so I have added, if I go over here to admin tools and I look at manage admins, I have added Nitu, I've added Baka, I've added Perjot, Siddharth, I've added you, I've added Christopher, Karam, Natch, Sasha, and Sean. Is there anybody else who would like to be able to manage this? So you could I have several of us as super admins, and then others are content administrators, which means you can do whatever you need, post to this, etc. So if there's anybody who wants to be part of that, just put it in the Discord channel and I'll make sure and make you a content administrator. And I've got to figure out how to get rid of the Ortelius open source user now. And I'm not sure why when we do the search, that company doesn't come up.
Well, we'll work on that later and figure out what we need to do. We may have to disable that one.
We should have disabled this because I ended up after all having to create it under my own ID because this new ID didn't have enough connections. And apparently that's a rule in LinkedIn.
And what, you have like 5,000 connections?
I have a lot of, I didn't have any problem creating it myself. So anyway, we did that and that's out there. Also on that topic, I use TweetDeck. So if anybody wants to do any kind of regular posting for Ortelius, I can add you to TweetDeck. So for example, I watch, I watch the CDF. I watch certain hashtags, and then over here, I can, if you have TweetDeck and it's free, I can post to these different companies. So if I want to just do a post, I can select Ortelius and then I can schedule it. So on that note, I can add anybody who wants to post to the Ortelius accounts on Twitter.
So, you're basically posting on behalf of the Ortelius account.
Correct. Correct. So if anybody wants to get involved in doing that, let me know on Discord, and I will add you to that as well.
It's kind of handy because you can schedule things out a couple weeks out and things like that. So you don't have to sit there and think about what you want to tweet, right then and there. You can work on it and then get it sent out a couple days later. All right, I'm gonna try to share again. Let's see what happens.
Looks good. I can see.
All right. So just some quick updates. Summer of Code, we're waiting on the CDF to submit. The deadline's not till, I think, the end of the month, but that's all being handled by the CDF. We've done all of our work, need to helped out on that to get some of the pull requests in place. We did have a couple meetings around component sets and application sets. And we're going to be moving forward with the component sets. I'll be creating some issues around that topic, what we need to do on a coding basis. We will be creating, in all of our upcoming development work, we will be creating some new microservices around what we need to do as far as getting data from the database. We have also did some research around service catalog data. And this is a low-hanging fruit that we can add into Ortelius. It's basically what we're seeing is people want to have for a microservice, who is the owner, what's the page gate, link, what's the Slack channel that's being used by the developers, where are the log files. So I'm in the process of speccing out the design for the service catalog data, and we'll be able to put that in. We'll probably want to do a couple new reports around that to make it easier for SREs to find the data without having to do a bunch of pointing and clicking. Along with the component sets, we have, because we were talking with Argo, CD, and doing some more research around GitOps, I think we have a plan to be able to drive, instead of people going in and having to manually edit YAML files, that we can drive that from Ortelius and push the changes into Git from Ortelius. And then once it hits the Git repo, the whole GitOps operator will pick it up and get the changes distributed for us. So that's something that looks like we should be able to work with. I just have some little more work to do on the structure of the Git repositories. Because what it seems like, there's a different format of the Git repo depending on which Git operator that you're doing. If it's going to be Fleet from Rancher, or if it's FluxD, or one of the other ones, Argo's control plane, they all have a different structure of the Git repo. I'm trying to figure out if we can do it generic as that.
So Steve, if you could create for both of the those topics, the support data that we need to create and the GitOps data, you could create 2 separate shared docs, so that we all can start adding to it.
Yep. Yeah, I'll go in and create. More than likely, some of this will be, it'll be a mix. I'll create some issues so we can track it in GitHub. And also it'll link to the more technical document on that front from the GitHub issue.
Okay, because I think what we have to make sure that we're doing is identifying all the elements that we need in the Kubernetes deployment YAML file that we're not currently collecting. Like for example, are we going to have to start saving a namespace? Do we need the key value pairs to be more listed out to say, environment configurations and if they're overrides or not?
Right. Yeah, especially for the GitOps. That's the part
Yes.
that I'm still working on, the figuring out the backend data model to support what we need. Same with the service catalog. There's a little bit of database work I have to look at to support what we need to do there. All 3 of these have backend database changes.
Right. But I think that for the team, if you could get what you already know out in documents, so we all can start thinking about it as well.
Yep. The component set one is pretty much there. At least the research that we have. I'm going to put together for all of these the design details and how we're going to implement.
So who on the call today, who may not normally be on the architecture call, has any background or experience in support and what support teams need, and who may have done anything in terms of what's in a deployment file that the GitOps operator needs? Sean, Karam?
I've done a lot of support work before, but I haven't worked with, what is it, the GitOps operator. Yeah.
So if you have some support experience, what are some of the, once Steve gets these documents put together, I'll make sure he puts it out I might send everybody an email that says what's happening. Put it out so that we can start collaborating on the requirements is what I'd like to see.
I don't know if I catch right when we talking about support, but based on what you already said, I have a similar requirement, like, I don't know, a lot of cluster with a lot of components or pods at the end that nobody knows who is the owner, if it's been using, if it's active, stuff like that. And that moment, we we steal the idea of how Istio works. So I like the Istio, the implementation of Istio, because it's like decoupled, annotated behavior. So we start putting JSONs on metadata. So we just inject this standard JSON to deployment on pod, stuff like that. So we do these little marks, and then a platform, a solution start catching up and saying, okay, this is has this that this is this mark say that I have to watch it, and I have to check if it has all the information, if it needs another thing. So at the end, we just at least at the first release, we implement a way that we can identify who is the owner if it's active. We do like checks with the Kubernetes API to like aging, but aging more related with the business activity, like, I don't know, new releases, like features, like go lives and stuff like that. But at the end, it's a mix about annotations and a platform that grab all the namespaces that he has to check and doing things based of what the annotation is. So at the end, at least at least is active, is belongs to someone, and if it's not, like a little report that all this stuff has not the information, this enough information to take an action over
Okay,
it.
cool. Yeah, I'll definitely pick your brain on the service catalog data around that, because there's some interesting challenges that you have there. I want to make sure that we cover them.
Yep. So we just need to get those docs out there so that everybody can start putting kind of requirements, a shared requirements doc, even if it's not clean. It's just like, here's some thoughts. That's all we need.
Yep. I'll get those out there, and I'll make sure that everybody knows where the links are to those.
Because the goal here is, once the blogathon is done, which is at the end of March, it's going to be, we're going to have Google Summer of Code coming up, but we're going to be really pushing to start having everybody be able to work on the code base. And these 3 projects will be the focus. It will be the GitOps, which is probably the most important one, to be quite honest, the support, and then the work on the component sets. And so by the end of March, we should have the requirements clear for all of those, so that once the blogathon is done, we can focus on our own kind of Summer of Code project along with Google Summer of Code. That's the idea.
Yep. All right, we're just running over a little bit here. So just to wrap up, it does not look like Garama has joined. So we kind of talked about the Trello board. Just a reminder, the Trello is for the high level pieces. We are tracking the review of your blogs in Trello. There are GitHub issues as well that we're using to track more of the technical things. I believe in the instructions for the blog, submitting the blog, that there are GitHub issues that you can make comments in with link, so you can create like a link to where your Google Doc is. I don't know if we'll have to review that process. It may be a little redundant to do it in 2 places. So as people go through it, we may need to streamline how we're managing the submission of the blogs. But that's just if you need any help with Trello, reach out to Siddharth. And there's the Trello invite again to get hooked up to that board. I think that was main stuff that I wanted to.
There was one other thing, and I can't remember what it's supposed to be. Oh well.
Was it around
I don't remember.
coding or a topic?
I don't remember. I don't remember.
Oh, we did have we did do I did do a webinar with the CDF. So that went out last week, I think, or 2 weeks ago.
Yep.
And the podcast has been posted. So you can grab the podcast with Siddharth, Tracy, and Nitu. If you.
Yeah. So that's, if that is all on, go to the events page. Yeah.
And feel free to push these out as well over tweet, a tweet, or
people still don't know about us, so the more we can get this information out, the better. So that was Steve's presentation on what Ortelius is, and then that podcast is with Nitu and Siddharth and myself, interviewed by Jackie Salinas, who's the ecosystem director.
And it may be ambitious, but if we want to do a podcast on our own, we can set that up as well. We can kind of have somebody be the interviewer and the interviewee, and we can do one of these ourselves, podcasts our own, if that's easier for people.
That is cool.
So that's kind of where we're at. Anybody have anything?
No.
So what I might do is I might grab some time with Garima, and she has a standing meeting during this time. I might grab her and ask her and just go over it with her, record it, and then I'll post that recording so everybody can see it, and then we can chat about it. But she's just working on the kind of the different levels of the badges for the different personas. So if you're an enthusiast, you get graded, or you get levels for how many posts you do, how many blogs you do. If you're a developer, your first pull request, what those different those badging levels are.
Can she make it to a Monday call? Maybe
I
the
can ask her.
Monday outreach at, what is it, 8?
I'll ask her if she can do it at the outreach. That's a great idea.
It may be easier for her schedule.
Yep, I'll find out.
All right. Anybody have
Okay,
anything
everybody.
else? Thank you so much. Sorry we ran over a little bit. We're trying to hang out for Garima, but we'll catch her up, see if we can get her into the outreach meeting on Monday. Thank you. Everybody have a good one.
Bye.
Thanks, guys. Bye.
Have
Bye.
a good weekend.